Islam. And I'm not going to dilate about what their Muslim brothers say about us. When the Quran does not say that you may be killed for changing your religion, but the Hadith, the so-called sayings of the Prophet, which are taken just as seriously, do say that. So when someone says, I'm a Muslim, and I'm telling you, Mr. Rushdie, if you apostatize from this faith, you're dead, he's not misquoting the texts. Sir, he's not. He's quoting them accurately. I think, I'll phrase it as understatedly as I can, I think we could do without a lot of this.
Christopher. But let me respond.
I think enough already would cover a lot of this stuff.
Again, you are debating points I didn't make. I said, you keep confusing the existence of God, again, with religious denominational beliefs. I'm not debating whether...
Are they separable?
Yes.
Well, fine.
Yeah, very much so. I think that you're quoting the Bible. If you said everything in the Bible you rejected, you still have not established why a belief in God, maybe a belief in God through that vehicle may be your debate. But you're not addressing God. You're talking Quran, Bibles, people's interpretation of God. That is not my debate. My debate with your book is that you're saying, therefore, since they did this to, since Abraham was going to murder his son, there is no God. That's like 1 + 2 = 7. I mean, we're not, so Abraham may have been incorrect, if that's your point. Or what they did with the Amalekite, or what's going on in the Middle East. What does that have to do with the existence of a universe that is set on an order that I believe was set by a supreme being that continues to evolve today, that I think science has done a credible job in analyzing? Now, you can debate which one of the Bibles, Qurans, religious books may have had it right or interpreted it right, but that does not address the central question. You, sir, did not attack the Christian church or the Muslim religion or the Pope. You attacked God. And to attack God is a whole lot. You hit here and you debate here. Let's talk about God. Let's not talk about those that came in his name, and you have some maybe credible arguments against whether or not you felt that they were correct or incorrect. And again, I raised, as I did my opening statement, who decides what is wicked, what is right, what is ethical? If there's nothing there that governs humanity, whatever's ethical is whatever we decide is ethical, because we're in charge. It's all up to us.
Okay, once again, in reverse order, if I may. Religion gets its morality from us. I think it's very easy to demonstrate that. I'll do it from one of each of the 2 testaments.
You back on testaments?
Well,
why don't you write a book? Testaments are not great.
I spent a lot of time with my Bible. Okay, my Bible. I do.
I told you you had
or
a
the
bad
Babel,
Sunday
as they
school
call
teacher.
it in Dixie. I do. In the there's a very famous parable in the New Testament where the alleged Jesus of Nazareth tells a story about a man from Samaria. We call him the Good Samaritan, who, finding a fellow creature in enormous distress and pain, goes well out of his way to alleviate his suffering and to follow up to make sure that his sympathy hasn't been a waste of time, to do the aftercare, if you like. Well, we know one thing about this person from Samaria. He cannot have been a Christian. Right? Jesus is telling this story about someone he's heard of, who acted, as far as we know, from no other prompting with elementary human solidarity. What other prompting do we need? Our species would not have survived. We wouldn't be met here if we didn't have, as well as many selfish instincts, the need, and often for our own sake, to be of use to others, to combine with them, to take an interest in them, to care for them, and to worry when they're in pain. No supernatural authority, as with the civil rights movement, is required for this. Morality comes from us. Religion claims to have invented it on our behalf. Then, okay, another example from the Older Testament. Is it really to be believed that until they got to the foot of Mount Sinai, the followers of Moses believed that up till then, adultery, murder, theft, and perjury were okay? They're suddenly told, oh, hey, we got some new ideas for you. I don't think so. It's a bit of an insult to the ancient Jewish faith, of which Jacob and I are both rather disgraceful ornaments in our different ways. I think our ancestors were smarter than that, and even if they weren't smarter, they wouldn't have got that far if they'd been under the contrary impression. The golden rule is something you don't have to teach a child. There's no need to say, and if you don't follow this rule, you'll burn in hell forever. That's immoral teaching. Now, I hope I've made myself clear on the, but I'm wondering if I have, because you face me, Reverend, with two very unwelcome thoughts. Either I have been completely inarticulate in everything I've said this evening, or you have misunderstood me. I have to throw myself, or these are not mutually exclusive, and I should have seen that coming. I thought I said it's common ground. We cannot know that there was a creator, whether of ourselves or of our cosmos. If you may wish to assume one, but that's the best you can do. The evidence is all that the cosmos evolved, and the evidence that there was a single mind, purposeful creator of it is nil. There's no evidence for that at all. By all means, believe it, as long as you don't try and make me believe it or teach it to my children.
Well, let me say,
I have to insist, because that's not a difference of opinion.
I will meet you on common ground there, but I would say that many people, I among them, in our own lives, have had experiences that make me believe that there is a God, and make me believe that my seeking God and seeking the guidance of a supreme being is real to me. I'm not going by Moses. I'm not going by Peter. I'm not going by the man that you said was allegedly Jesus of Nazareth. I'm talking about in people's personal experiences with their interaction through their own faith with God, can say that you or no one else can tell me that did not exist. If I was only sitting up here arguing with you over scriptures, then you would have points that I would consider valid to this discussion. But I'm not here to defend scriptures. I didn't write those scriptures. I lived my life. And in my life, the existence of God has been confirmed to me in my own personal dealings, and my own faith being vindicated and validated, that had absolutely nothing to do with scriptures, whether they were right or wrong. And again, I pose the question, when you raise the issue of morality, if there is no supervisory being, then what do we base morality on? Is it based on who has the might at any given time? Who's in power? What is morality based on? If there is no order to the universe, and therefore some being, some force that ordered it, then who determines what is right and wrong, what is moral and immoral? You use very religious terms interchangeably while you attack the idea of a God. There is nothing immoral if there's nothing in charge, because everything becomes moral if in fact the species as we are is all there is. We'll determine, let's decide every 4 years what's moral. Most Republicans do, but I mean, let's do it in the sense of, let's just say, forget all of that. We'll decide morality based on every period of time, because there is nothing up there governing it anyway. And you don't have to burn in hell to understand that life has certain guiding posts that has been set there well beyond your own being. And I think that the whole world was waiting on one's birth, your birth or mine, or death to set the framework of morality, I think that is very arrogant. It's also delusional, but it is very arrogant at best.
Again, in reverse order.
Don't look for help from the referee. I'm over here.
I incline in your direction, sir. Said it before. Very suggestive thing that you just said. If there was no one in charge, how would we know how to act morally? And this is, indeed, a very profound